This is the micro irrigation slideshow on drip by Alex Brick.
Jose Ojeda.
And Cristobal.
What is drip? Drip irrigation is a method of micro-irrigation where water and nutrients are efficiently distributed directly into the root zone using emitters below or above the soil surface. Drip irrigation has been used for centuries since ancient China, where clay pots were buried and filled with water to be delivered at a slow rate. The flow rate is typically significantly less than traditional methods. Traditional methods are measured in gallons per minute, whereas drip is measured in gallons per hour. Drip irrigation is considered to be one of the recent greatest technological advancements in agriculture.
What are the different types of drip? First, there's drip tape, which is very thin-walled plastic tubing that lays flat when it's not pressurized, and the emitters are built in and slit-like. Next is inline drip, which is a thin wall but thicker than drip tape plastic pipe that has built-in plastic emitters. They can be cut and connected for a wide variety of uses. Next are soaker hoses, which is a hose-like line that is made of a porous cloth. It outputs water from all surfaces at the desired rate, and they're often used to irrigate small gardens or flower beds. Point source emitter systems use plastic quarter-inch tubing that has replaceable emitters at the end of each line, making it highly customizable systems that can be used for a variety of uses in like greenhouses, viticulture, and landscapes. One thing is you have to install the emitters yourself, meaning you can fine-tune the flow rate for different zones. Finally are micro misters and bubblers, and these are small sprinklers and bubblers that can output more water than other types of micro irrigation. They're still direct and accurate, but cover more surface area per emitter. Some of the system components of drip are as follows. First is the water delivery system and access. You need to have access to a water system, so one must be present or built. Next comes backflow preventers, which are used to prevent municipal water pollution. After that comes a water filter, which are necessary for this type of drip system because the emitters have small orifices that will clog up with hard water over time. Additionally, you could add valves and gauges. Valves are necessary to release the water from the source and to stop the watering, whereas gauges are necessary to determine the water pressure and flow rate throughout your system so there's equal distribution. Next, you can add air reliefs to let out the water that is introduced to the system, along with water from air pumps. Also to introduce air into the system to reduce the vacuum pressure in the lines after shutoff. In large-scale systems, you can have chemical injectors, which are used to mix fertilizer into the water at specific ratios. And lastly, you have delivery piping, which can laterally deliver water throughout landscapes and soil surfaces. Sometimes they will contain emitters on lines like polyurethane, drip line, and drip tape.
Drip is a low flow method. It is very efficient with its water usage. With drip, you can precisely control how much water is applied and fertilizer using fertigation. Since drip gives the water to the roots, there is no water loss because of wind drift, and weeds also struggle to compete. It also maintains soil quality by preventing runoff and buildup of fertilizers and salts. Some cons of drip are attributed to the cost and maintenance. Drip can have a higher initial startup cost. Maintenance also needs to be done regularly in order to make sure the system is running at its peak. This table shows that drip is 67% more efficient than flood irrigation, according to the life cycle assessment study of the rubber tree. The drip system was able to increase the yield of rubber while also decreasing the input of water. By decreasing their overhead expense, growers are able to increase their bottom line and invest in other areas.
About 40% of California's agriculture is watered using drip irrigation. Drip line is used most frequently in agricultural scenarios because of its low cost, ability to install with tractors and machinery, and different types of automation. Point source emitters are frequently used in viticulture as it provides lots of control and accuracy to the irrigation process. Micromisters and bubblers are used in orchards because they covered targeted but wider areas.
Popular use of drip is in residential and commercial landscaping. It is used for ornamental plants, shrubs, and trees. It also eases the need for manual labor and for hand watering. They can also be installed in the soil or laid on top. Burying it in the soil is the better route because it loses less water from evaporation and it's also more appealing.